everyone, it's Samantha from Scrapmaster's Paradise, and I decided to make today Movie Monday again. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep up with the Movie Mondays or not because of the Frugal Fridays that are starting. So for now, we'll say Movie Monday will be every once in a while. I'm not going to commit to it yet. So for today, I've got a card for you. This is a card I'm making for Marker Pop. They're doing Monday Inspiration. So I decided to work with this image from Stamp-A-Bee. It is Floating Down the River by Stamp-A-Bee. It's a clear stamp, and I colored the cat in a different video, and then I showed you how I made these little rhinestones in another video. And those are on my Sammy's Copic Coloring channel, and so look for that. I'll post a link to that if you're on YouTube. I'll post a link to my other channel, and if you're on the blog, then the videos will be on the same post as this, so you'll get to see everything. So for this card, I'm using some paper from the SP Monthly Kit for July, which is sold out, and I cut this piece down to 3.75 inches this way and 5.5 inches this way, and that way my image would just fit on here because my image happened to be 3.75 across. And then for my card base, I just have a 5.5 inch square. So I cut the paper 11 inches by 5.5 this way. It's just some brown cardstock I had in my stash. And I've also got some pink strips here. These were just from scraps from my collection. It's 5.5 inches this way, and I didn't measure them the other way. And this one is another strip that I just had left over. I'm going to put my sentiment on here, and it's 3.75 inches across this way. And let's see, it's a 1/2 inch thick. Then I also am going to add these decorative edges. I made these with one of the petal edge abilities from Spellbinders, and I liked that there was 2 different edges to choose from. When I cut it, I just cut a strip of white paper that was in my stash. You can see how this edge here has an embossed area, and this one has a teeny tiny little embossed area, and I'm going to go with the edge that just has the barely embossed section. I'm just putting the other 2 aside. I might use them on something else, I'm not sure. For the sentiment, I'm using one of the new Swirly Doos. This one says, "You make my life sweeter," so that's going to be my sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that part first, and then we'll start assembling everything else. There's just so many layers here. Got that, and I grabbed some Tempting Turquoise ink. It's just a turquoise color. I'm just going to get my sentiment stamped on this strip. Try to be in the middle. It says, "You make my life sweeter." I got that. Now let's just start assembling. So I want these pink strips to be on both of these edges, so I cut them the same size, and then I'll just have a teeny bit of it poking out on each side. Get it lined up. Oh, it's so sticky. I just want a teeny tiny bit of it sticking out. Let's see if that looks even. And I gotta rub across the tape runner glue. Same with this one. I'm just going to have a little bit sticking out of the other side. That looks even to me. Do that. Then I'm going to have the white on the other side. I was hoping that they would line up just right, but I think they're going to be a little bit off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to where I kind of have the pokes, the pointy parts, evened out between this corner and this corner. So if I did it at the edge here, then it would be small to big, and then this end would have the biggest part, and I want it to be even so they both kind of go to the end at the same place. I'm just going to add some glue and I'll line it up how I want it. Let's see, because I don't want the pokey part to be at the very end since they don't line up evenly. just grab my little scissors and snip this. Same with this side. Flip it over like that. Snip it from this side. That way I get it even. Okay, so that's what I mean. I want it to be symmetrical down the whole side here. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Put some glue on there and line it up as well. I think they make these dies, the edgeabilities, to where they're an inch from the start to finish of the same little design. So each one of these things is an inch, but my card is 5.5 inches, and that messes up the lining a little bit. We can work around it. Maybe for future reference, I will make cards in inch increments instead of in a half, like I did with this one. Let's cut this. I actually had some of the pink sticking out, so I'm cutting through that layer too. I'm scared to do this one, but I have the light shining through the back, so I can make it somewhat even. I think it needs a little bit more. Okay, set that, scraps aside. Okay, so I've got that done. I'll get it lined up on my card. Putting a lot of glue because this is a really bulky section here with all the different layers on it. Let's see, I'll try to line it up. Looks like it's skinnier on this side and not on this side. I think I'll take it off and try that again. If it will let me, I'm not sure. Okay, no scratchy parts. Let's try again. Okay, that looks a little bit more evened out. It's lined up at the end. Okay. Let's rub that all down, make sure it stays. Okay, so it looks really good. It was kind of a labor of love to get all the layers all evened up, but it worked. And this I'm going to have closer to the bottom, but I still want some of the chevron showing at the bottom. I'll just get this attached. Okay. Try to get it lined up. Have to take a look. It's hard to tell because you don't want to use the pattern as a guide. Sometimes the patterns are crooked, but then it kind of messes with your eyes if it's crooked and it's not lining up exactly right. That looks good. Okay, then our sentiment, I'm just going to have it going across the bottom here. I think I'll go ahead and overlap it with that line just to cover up that seam. Make sure I got it on there straight and not crooked. Let's see. Looks good. Okay. Oh, I think that's it. Let me take one more look, make sure I don't want to add anything else. I think it looks good just like that. Oh, there you have it. Thanks for watching. Bye.